So all you fappers, you porn aficionados, Pornhub is under attack. There's a 1 million person signature petition that has been made now to shut down Pornhub for sex trafficking videos. Now, I know about Pornhub that for a long time we've been hearing this kind of story. I haven't never brought it up before, but listen, everyone knows what Pornhub is. I know that, having to chance for a short time to go ahead and report on the adult industry, the idea of having all these free porn sites out there, which this is free and premium Pornhub. The idea is, listen, it's the biggest and best of the search engines right now for porn. And it's very popular. And people can easily go ahead and submit videos up there, just like a YouTube kind of deal. So I don't know if they do a really good job of trafficking or really of policing what goes up on their sites and what goes down. I don't know what really, I don't hear much about it. Probably doesn't get reported though. But hearing this tells you a lot. I'm wondering if Pornhub would get hurt, because I'll tell you, there are some people that are around that would watch content on Pornhub of whatever kind of sex delicacy you like that's out there. Well, this lady over here is wanting to go ahead and do something about it. So signers from 192 countries are backing anti-trafficking activist Laila Mickelwait's Traffickinghub petition, which would shut down a Pornhub for allegedly enabling and profiting from the sex trafficking and rape of men and women and children on the site. So it's based on numerous cases, which listen, I've looked. Let me be honest. I don't think I've ever seen anything of the kind that they're talking about here, but I guess there's some spots where people can find it, or it's set up it's private for people to go ahead and check out, because I know there are people that put up private content, but there's one, well, that's what there is. So now the campaign says there's numerous cases on the website of videos of child rape and sex trafficking on the site. The campaign is endorsed by over 300 anti-trafficking, child protection, and women's rights organizations in the U.S., the U.K., Canada, Australia, Europe, Latin America, featured in hundreds of media articles nationally, internationally, and had also a large protest in front of the website's main office in Montreal, Canada, on International Women's Day. So now, U.S. Senator Ben Sasse released a letter to Attorney General William Barr, demanded the Department of Justice for the U.S. open an investigation, and its parent company, MindGeek. Same thing was done by Canadian members of Parliament going to Justin Trudeau about this. So the idea is, according to Professor Emerita of Wheelock College and the CEO of Culture Reframed, quote, Pornhub is in the business of commodifying and monetizing violence against women and children. There is no place for Pornhub in a world committed to sexual equality, dignity, and social justice. And what I don't know is where it's coming from. But this is one thing where, you're going to start seeing some changes going on where certain websites, I don't know if Pornhub would be considered anything like a social media site or what is being done, but, this is one of those things where it's the decision of the internet. What policing do you have? There's an argument now about the Communications Decency Act and social media sites and how they're being allowed to go ahead and be regulated or managed, and how they can be caught for libel or slander. And what's interesting is that this organization wants to go ahead and attack and try to shut the site down. Well, they could try to shut down .com, and what might happen is Pornhub can go ahead and just put themselves on a .nl, or they could put themselves on a .ru. They could put themselves on a different domain and continue to go. So you could let the .com go. Backpage had the same problem 2 years ago, or actually far longer than that, and it got taken down. And that's what they decided to do. Listen, I'm all for, anything that's going on when it comes to sex and just whatever you're into. You got to be of age. You got to be of age, period. 18 and up. And I would say that for any country, period. But in this point here, no lawsuit. I don't get why they're doing that. There's no restitution being asked for, just shutting it down. But it's a lost cause because, again, Pornhub could find their way to go and get themselves up here somewhere else. These kind of things happen. I just think it was interesting that they put this here. So there's a lot of people that talked about it. And this movement to shut down Pornhub was sparked by a February 9th release of an op-ed by Laila Mickelwait exposing the issue. And she said there was a story that the BBC published about the story of Rose Kalimba, who at 14 years old was taken at knife point and raped for 12 hours, after which the videos of her torture were uploaded to Pornhub by her attackers. So she begged Pornhub to remove the videos for 6 months, but it was not until she posed as a lawyer and threatened legal action that Pornhub finally removed them. And there's other cases in here. In this story, they also mentioned that all it takes to upload content to Pornhub is an email address. No government-issued ID is required. Pornhub doesn't bother to reliably verify the age of the consent of the millions featured in the videos it hosts and profits from. Yet it monetizes those videos with no questions asked. The site is set up for exploitation and is infested with the videos of the real rape, trafficking, and abuse and exploitation of women and children. We have evidence, and it's just the tip of the iceberg. Shut it down. Okay, well, Pornhub, if they don't police themselves, they don't figure out what's going on here. You know, it's one of the things that's got to be said, that there's got to be some kind of, you got to have some kind of accountability on what you're doing here, especially when it's porn. Because remember, when it comes to everything else, anything that's amateur needs to be regulated. If it's something professional, it's a different story because it's being held under U.S. Code 2257, U.S. Code 4475. It's been like that for years, proper documentations. So that's why the porn industry has really been hurt. And most importantly, if Pornhub's going to take all that free content and put it up on their site, and also there's content that's pirated. There's no question that Pornhub has pirated content. So the porn industry, for their sake, you know, they keep taking the battle of having free porn sites out there that are just taking their content and doing what will, but then also being irresponsible and not watching out for what's getting submitted from amateur sites, or just seeing that there's things where you could clearly see you got underage young women and children that are on this. I'm just, no, you can't be doing that. Pornhub has to clean up their act. But, I mean, again, for the porn industry, they might like the idea that it still goes on, because if Pornhub gets shut down, the implications that will take is important, because that would be a big blow to anybody that likes free porn. That's what's going on here. What will that say to adult sites? Will they see another chance to be getting a windfall of the likes of Pornhub going down? And will this just be the first place that Laila Mickelwait goes after? Will they go after other sites? Time will only tell.